Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. I've been looking forward to today because today is the release date of the new Neil Young album Before and After. And in this video I'm going to do a review of this album. Now, I set my alarm clock this morning and I drove to the record store in town on my bike, and I got there and no vinyl of this album, and I started to check online and I couldn't find it here in the Netherlands. So I'm wondering, do you guys have the same issue? Did you not get the vinyl? Now that doesn't mean I'm not gonna review the album, because obviously this video is a review, but I had to listen to it digitally. So this is my digital listening session review, and I hope to soon get the vinyl and comment on the vinyl and the quality of the sound. First of all, the idea of this album is interesting. Neil Young announced it as a whole piece. It's a 48-minute montage with no beginning and no ending. At least that's according to him. Now, what is the idea of this album? Before and After is an album in which Neil Young selected some of his deep cuts, some of his, I believe, personal favorites and songs that were often overlooked, and re-recorded them alone. Not without a producer. Lou Adler and himself produced it, but he's alone in the studio with his instruments. Now, some say it's an acoustic album. It's not a fully acoustic album because eventually there will be some electronic instruments. Thank God for that. I'll start off with the first song, I'm the Ocean, which was already released before. I'm the Ocean Start is a song which was originally recorded for the album Mirror Ball, and this opening song blew me away. When I listened to it, I thought, oh my God, this Neil Young is, after all these years, still so relevant. It's just him strumming the guitar and singing, and his voice sounds remarkably sweet on the entire album. It's noticeable that his voice has aged, and he made, of course, a joke in one of his songs that he has a squeaky voice. I wouldn't find it squeaky at all. I think the squeaky element there has got to do with, in old days he has a lot of energy and power and fierceness there. The fierceness and the energy might be slightly gone, yet he has traded it for still a recognizable voice. It's still very recognizable, Neil Young, but he's older, sweeter, and I believe his voice sounds more emotional. And so, starting with the first track, I thought, this is brilliant. This is really brilliant. And then there comes two songs which kind of got me out of balance. He has Home Fires, which comes from the Archives Volume 2, and Burned originally from the Buffalo Springfield album. Both, of course, in this session re-recorded. I believe it's the session sounds very coherent. But that coherence also started to bother me on the second and the third songs. I start to notice that I'm listening to a guitar with a nasty reverb. I don't like the sound of the guitar here. And I started to think, if he's not going to change, this might become weary. Now, I do notice, even on those two songs, which I did not really enjoy, that his writing of melody is incredible, but his minimalistic approach might also become the danger of this album. Luckily, 2 and 3 were in that regard the weakest tracks of the album, because going to the fourth track, On the Way Home, from originally recorded for Last Time Around, still guitar and vocals, but he's regaining. Not on the level of I'm the Ocean, which it's an incredible recording, but it's getting good, it's getting better. Then on the fifth track, you got a song, If You Got Love. I do not know from which album this is. I just cannot find it on any album. So if there are some Neil Young diehards, please, if it's from an album, leave a comment below. This might be a unique song. If this is a unique song, I mean, he is, writing-wise, doing some incredible new stuff. Also, he plays harmonium on this one, which is like a pump organ. And that, I mean, the switch in instrument just does it for me. And that also, it shows the danger of this album. It can become monotonous. It can become. It has the threat of having a lack of diversity there, but getting an harmonium there and the way he plays it, I mean, he really makes it breathe. Beautiful. I mean, he does that beautiful. Then the sixth song, A Dream That Can Last, from originally recorded for Sleeps with Angels. He plays piano on that. Great. Then he does Birds, originally from After the Gold Rush. Brilliant. Love that song. Great rendition. Then he goes to When I Hold You in My Arms, from the album Are You Passionate? Also a very good recording, and I love that there comes an electric guitar solo. So you hear the piano and an electric guitar solo. I guess the guitar solo must have been an overdub because he can't play the same both at the same time. But that diversity, I mean, he's constantly just above the level of, we're not going to get this boring. Though, because of the second and the third track, I am constantly a bit afraid, when is he going to lose my attention? But he just keeps adding and changing enough after the third track to keep you focused and to keep it interesting and to keep it... Because there are interesting things here. I mean, his voice has changed in an incredible way. The way he approaches the songs has changed in an incredible way. And the minimalism, although it holds a thread, it also contains beauty. So I really like it about the album. Then he comes to Mother Earth, and this is one of the bangers of the album. Almost the most brilliant song of the album, but I'm gonna give that to another song. Mother Earth is originally from the Ragged Glory album, and he plays this. He starts on an organ with a harmonica, and he just nails it. He nails it. It's such a great emotional recording. Then he goes to Mr. Soul from Buffalo Springfield again. Nice. Seriously, this is good. This might be the highlight of the album for me. Damn. Mr. Soul. Brilliant song. Brilliant rendition. Then he comes with Comes a Time from the Comes a Time album. Better than the original recording. Seriously, I think the original is good, but it's lifeless compared to this one. Then he does Don't Forget Love from Barn, which I think is kind of weary. It ends off a little bit weary. But overall, this is an interesting album. Neil Young is still relevant. The album does contain some threats for the music, or threats for the production mostly. But eventually, in the end, he nails it. And this album, Before and After, is one of his good, perhaps even great albums. So I'm curious what you think. Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.